Coming up on MHS1,
we welcome a Texas classic back to shelves.
we meet the hero McKinney High deserves,
And we spotlight an important piece to the athletic program here at MHS.
and that's all coming up on MHS1.
Good morning, McKinney High School. Today is October 9th. I'm Devin Field.
And I'm Brandon Fangio, and you're watching MHS1.
After the recent changes to the dress code policy and enforcement, there have been mixed reactions from faculty and staff. Here's Philip Quinn, Sam Turner, and Alexander Moltz with the story.
In regard to this year's revisions to the dress code, students expressed their opinions concerning further limitations on how they should dress at school. Faculty further elaborates on who is responsible for the changes and how they apply to schools in McKinney.
I don't like the school dress code because showing shoulders and wearing leggings isn't really a distraction. It's just kind of comfortable. And the hair color thing, I'm just gonna honestly compliment them and then move on with my day.
I think they should be able to dress however they want because people say it's a distraction in class, but it's not really, nobody really cares. We live in a different generation now, and so nobody's really gonna worry about a little nose piercing or a tiny rip in the jeans or people's shoulders showing.
I personally like the dress code because I feel more comfortable wearing regular pants, and I feel I don't know, it just is more professional looking to me personally.
The dress code is given to us through McKinney ISD. So our central office comes up with the dress code, and then it's enforced at all the campuses in McKinney. So it's not a McKinney High School dress code, it's a McKinney ISD dress code. This year the leggings has been a big issue for girls, having to be fingertip length versus just covering the bottom. But other than that, I can't think of any big changes. I think the dress code was always in place, just maybe not as enforced as often. I think you just have to know your body, and I think you look in the mirror when you leave and you just dress. If you know you have really long arms, then you need a really long t-shirt.
This has been Alexander Moltz, Sam Turner, and Philip Quinn reporting for MHS1.
Bluebell will make its return November 2nd after a listeria outbreak caused their factories to stop production for nearly 8 months. With more on the story, here's Marissa Troiani, Devin Field, and Mary Catherine Chaparro.
Last spring, Bluebell ice cream was removed from stores across America due to an outbreak of listeria, a bacteria that affected a total of 35 people. Recently, Bluebell has returned to Texas.
When I first heard about Bluebell having listeria, I was kind of surprised just because I didn't really know what it was. And then I read more about it and I was like, okay, certain work conditions for making Bluebell weren't right. And I guess I understood it.
Whenever I heard about the listeria incident with Bluebell, my initial thought was, okay, well, that doesn't really affect me, but when is Bluebell coming back? During the summer, in the middle of the Bluebell famine, I was at a friend's house. I was at Megan Lafferty's house, and I asked her sister jokingly, do you have any Bluebell? And I was on the hunt for Bluebell. It'd been several months. I was totally craving it, and she said, yes, actually. And I was like, what? Are you kidding? I thought she was messing with me. But it turns out in the back of the freezer that they have in the garage, their mom had saved one of the Bluebell, and she had taped a sign to the front of it that said, don't eat, because she wanted to return it after the Bluebell came back.
Although many people are excited for the return of Bluebell, some people are still concerned for future safety hazards.
I wasn't, okay, so when I first heard about the Bluebell incident, I can't say I was surprised. I teach about the industrialization of the food system, and so there's a lot of safety problems involved in our food system today.
And I'm not surprised by the listeria incident because I know that if you can drive down the cost of food, you'll maximize your profits. And cutting corners by mopping floors seems like an easy way to do that.
Yeah, mopping floors is a waste of time.
Right.
I mean, unless you don't want people dying of listeria.
Right. Also, I think if we're going to make Bluebell the official ice cream of Texas, listeria should be the official bacteria of Texas.
Yeah. So I was a little surprised. I don't think it'll see a return to places outside of Texas. It's not that I'm against it. When I want to buy ice cream, I usually just settle on a pint of premium ice cream that I can eat in relative sadness. If I get to the bottom, there's usually tears.
Now I probably won't purchase Bluebell because I'm like, oh yeah, do I want to get listeria?
I don't.
But if I do want to get listeria, I know where to get it.
Yeah, Bluebell.
On November 2nd, Bluebell ice cream will be available in Dallas, Fort Worth, Waco, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and surrounding areas. This has been Devin Field, Marissa Troiani, and Mary Catherine Chaparro reporting for MHS1.
Go! Just go! Don't let your brakes be brakes. Yesterday, I honked my horn. Just go! Make your car move! Just go! Some people will stop at the yield sign, but not you. You pull up to it and right through it. You should get to the point where anyone else will brake, but not you. You're not stopping there. What are you waiting for? Nothing is impossible. Go! Just go! Yes, you can. Go through it. If you're tired of being late, don't stop at the yield sign.
Now here's Maddie Cox with sports.
Thanks, Brandon. This past Tuesday, Lionettes volleyball team faced off against the Prosper Eagles, losing 3-1, and are now third place in their district. Their record is 5-3 and will be facing the Sherman Bearcats tonight at McKinney High, beginning at 5:30. Last Friday, the Lions football team lost against Denison High School 35-13. They will play Sherman Bearcats tonight at Rompo at 7:30 for our 2015 homecoming game. Now here's an inside look at our McKinney Lionettes volleyball team.
This season, the Lionettes volleyball team has had a successful run.
We actually have a really big team this year, so we have a lot of new additions, but definitely our freshman, Sophie Manson, she's one of our starting setters and hitters, and she's a big contributor. And I mean, we have like outside right sides from several different people that are really strong.
Claire is optimistic about her final season as a Lionette.
Now that I'm a senior, I don't know, I'm putting everything out there because I want to win so bad, and everyone wants to put it out. And we have the potential to go to the state tournament, even win like the state championship. So I think that's like the initial goal, like everyone is going for the state championship.
Coach Higginbotham has similar goals for the season.
We want to go definitely, we want to try to hit that regional tournament and hopefully end up at the state tournament. So I think our smaller goal would be regional tournament and then kind of progress into that state tournament.
Support from fans is the biggest motivator for the team.
Definitely love people to come out and just be loud and have school spirit and just have Lion pride always.
The Lionettes play Sherman at home tonight at 5:30. This has been Chelsea Villarreal and Johnny Miller reporting for MHS1.
Athletic trainers are an essential part of what makes our teams at McKinney High School so great. Now here's Jonathan Hobart, Kyle McKelvey, and Jake Pierce with more.
Every Friday night when the clock strikes game time, it's grown to be a norm for the crowd's attention to be entirely directed on the boys on the field, tending to forget an essential piece of the athletic program, the student trainers.
I used to go to the baseball games last year, and I found out about the program, and I kind of investigated a little. And I met Jake and Sarah, and they just helped me through the whole process. I like helping people. Like, my whole thing about wanting to go in the medical field is helping others. I like the people, the other athletic trainers, and I like going to the football games.
I see what Jake and Sarah do, and I think it's really interesting. And if something else, like I want to become a physical therapist also. I wrap their wrists, ankles, thumbs. I give them water, make them ice bags. We actually help y'all and wrap y'all up and make sure y'all don't get injured.
If you really want to make a difference, join athletic training.
This has been Jake Pierce, Johnny Hobart, and Kyle McKelvey reporting for MHS1.
The stage is for seniors, not underclassmen. Hallways are for passes, not glasses. Hey, library is to be quiet. No talking.
It makes me look like a hipster.
There's no me in the classroom.
Because he's the hero McKinney High deserves, but not the one it needs right now. So we'll hunt him, because he can take it. Because he's not our hero. He's a silent guardian.
Last weekend, theater had their first play.
That's right, and unlike past years, there's 2 plays this fall, one for varsity and one for non-varsity.
Here's Johnny Miller and Yoki Anguela with the story.
The cast of this year's first fall show, Anatomy of Grey, was made up of only underclassmen.
Everything was like junior in middle school, and in high school you do full plays, and it's not like parts aren't cut out. It was a lot of fun. Like, one of the main reasons I love theater is because everyone kind of bonds together over doing all these shows and staying like so late. You know, you become a family, and it's like you don't find that in a lot of other things where it's like so accepting as it is in theater.
It's been kind of a different experience for me because we've usually kind of mixed everything together. It's the first time we've done a show where I really cast the upperclassmen and the underclassmen separately. But overall, it's really good, and it takes a little bit more work to focus them, but they have so much energy and they're so eager to do things that it really pays off in the end. A lot of the varsity theater kids came over, the seniors and juniors came over and did warm-ups with the kids, taught them like traditions that we have and the things we do before shows and kind of how our department works. So I think it's worked really well this year. I'm super excited about Hamlet. This is Miss Lawrence's directing debut. Last year she did all the tech stuff, but she's really a very good director as well. So Miss Lawrence is directing Hamlet. And so I'm really excited. She's kind of taking a fresh view of it. So this is not like a Hamlet you've ever seen before. So I'm excited for people to see it, kind of experience Hamlet in a different way.
The Hamlet dates and times are October 15th at 7 p.m. and October 17th at both 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. This has been Johnny Miller and Yoki Anguela reporting for MHS1.
Ribbons, bells, lions, oh my, mums sure can get expensive.
Yeah, that's why some students have resorted to making them.
Here's Riley Mulligan, Maddie Cox, and Allison Duran with more.
4 boys came together with nothing but their hopes and their household items to make the ultimate mums. After 2 hours and 5 bottles of glue, the boys left knowing they did the best they could.
What you know about this?
Well, that's all we have for you today, McKinney High School. Follow us on Twitter at Mainstream News.
And remember, if it's news,
and it's at McKinney High School, it's MHS1.
I gotta get crazy. Gotta get crazy.
I'm nervous. Gotta get the jitters out, man.
Ooh, Shia LaBeouf. Oh yeah. Emphasis on the buff. Okay. All right.